Hey, you know the TvZ Masters League ladder game? This game made me laugh my butt off, and I do not. The problem is, you finish a game, and then you go to cast it, and it's like all the adrenaline is like, blah, I want to scream about how awesome this game was, but it's the beginning of the game, and if I scream about how awesome it was, then it totally gives shit away. So I guess you guys are all just gonna have to suck it up and deal with my problems, okay? Whew. See, by the time we get to the end of the game, I'm just watching a game I just played, and so the adrenaline is all gone. So I'm excited at the beginning and lackluster at the end, and that's totally the opposite of the way the real game went. It's just really funny. Funny as a concept, I say. So on this two-player map, I have the cool advantage that I can always guarantee that I can stop him from throwing his hatchery down right away, because you just get there before 2 minutes and 20 seconds and boom, you can't throw it down. There are so few. There's only one two-player map on my rotation, because Scrap Station is the devil. The devil. It kills your children, and it's just not cool at all. So, I don't get a lot of practice at this style of opening where you try to delay the hatch, because on the other maps it's like you can't do it. So anyway, I get here and I'm patrolling and I'm like, haha, I'm patrolling, you can't throw it on your expo, neener, neener, neener. Dude, yeah, there's 3 standard Zerg openings, right? No gas fast expand, and no expand. And the no expand Zerg opening is something I never ever see in the Masters League. It's something that people do in lower leagues, right? They go for a 7 roach no expo push, or they go for a speedling, baneling, no economy super quick push, and all that kind of stuff. And if you see that he doesn't get an expo, you know a push is coming, so it's easy to defend against it, and you're just like, whatever, you do what you want. You do what you want! Yeah, I've noticed that it's well past 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and he hasn't come yet. So clearly he went pool first, gas pool first. And so to stop most of the one base all-in-y stuff, you basically, he's going to finish Ling Speed or a Roach by 5 minutes and 20 seconds. So your goal is to get a bunker at your own base before then, and to see what he's got coming when it comes. So I go for this double bunker block, which I think is kind of a mistake, because the whole strength of the double bunker block is that it lets you knock down his expo, and he didn't expo, so there's nothing to knock down. So, yeah, he comes out here with a bunch of lings, 6 lings at 4 minutes, and I'm like, whoa, run away! And I should have thrown down my low ground bunker before, like, as I was pushing out, because now it's not up, and he's got a bunch of lings outside my base, so I can't secure my expo, and so I'm like, ooh, I haven't run into this situation in like 2 months. I don't know what to do. So I kind of like panic, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'll just do a high ground command center. And again, I haven't done a high ground command center in for freaking ever, because it's a horrible idea. If you build a high ground command center, there's no guarantee you're ever going to get to land it down at the low ground, right? But he's got a bunch of lings down there, and ling speed, if he does ling speed first build, I know will be done at 5 minutes and 20 seconds. So I can't get down there and clear out his lings and get a bunker up safely, or at least I think I can't. So yeah, ling speed is coming, it's almost done. So now I'm stuck in my base until 1-1 finishes. And I remember I used to play this way, and I used to think this was the right way to play, but that is a long time to have an expo that can't be mining. All the way when 1-1 finishes, that's like 9 minutes in. And as you can see, my expo is going to finish at like, what is it, 6 minutes and 30 seconds. So to go all the way to 9 minutes before I actually get to use it, that's just really sad. That's 3 whole minutes of not using it. So I get a little bit greedy, and I push down too early, and I even bring SCVs down too early. So he gets a bunch of free SCV kills, a bunch of free Marine kills, and now I'm doomed. The end of the game is upon us. He's done $1,200 of damage. I've only done $300 of damage. I have literally 3 Marines is my entire army right now. I lost 7 workers this early in the game. To lose 7 workers is a pretty huge deal. At 8 minutes I want to have 30, and instead I have 23, so yeah. I'm in a very bad position. His Baneling Nest is on the way. So the one advantage I do have is that with this sort of aggressive start, hopefully I can talk him into doing a Baneling bust or a Roach push. because it's easy to defend the high ground. Like, he can throw $1 million of troops at me, and even with 3 Marines, I can easily hold that off at the high ground. But what would be bad is if he's intelligent and actually just tries to prevent my second instead of trying to bust my first, because my first will mine out real quick with double mules on it and max saturation this early. So now he's coming back with Overlord to try to figure out what I'm doing. That scan was intended to give me vision of 2 mineral patches, and I could see if there was 3 drones on each of those mineral patches, then that would mean that he's going mass econ, whereas if there's only 1 drone, that means he's going mass army. And in fact, he is going mass army rather than econ. He only has 35 workers, and he's working really hard to keep his army size very large. He spent $1,300 to spend so much money early, and to get his expo so late really kind of economically puts him behind. And I know that. So that's what that scan was designed to do, is to give me a hint. If he had max saturation on 2 bases, that would mean like 55 workers, which would be, at 10 minutes, would mean he has done nothing but build workers, which would mean I can just take the low ground easily because he has no army. But because I saw so few workers, now I'm worried. He must have a big army of some kind somewhere. So as you can see, he does have double my army size. I'm stuck in my freaking base. And I used to always watch games of Nick, and I still do watch games of other people when they get stuck on one base against Zerg, and I'm like, there is no excuse for getting stuck on one base against Zerg. It is so easy to secure the low ground, man. I don't know what you're doing, panicking and curling up like a frickin' ball and defending your one base. That's stupid. And I agree, it is stupid. So I'm sending a dropship to go to his base, and this is just like I do against Protoss, right? Sending a dropship and letting him see it. He ran a Ling under my dropship. Once he sees the dropship coming, now he's got to put his army in his base, and that means his army is not at my base, which means I can finally secure my expo. But at 15 minutes, my main is dry. It's running dry, and I'm just now securing my expo. This is terrible. Terrible, terrible damage. But he's had double my army size all game, so what could I do, you know? Like, oh. And the answer is, of course, I could have secured my expo as I pushed out with my first Marines like I'm supposed to. And so he's talking shit. He's like your nickname says, you're a free win. This is easy. Why don't you just leave the game? This is just a waste of my time. So he's at 111 unit space, and I'm at 102. His army size is 4K against my 2,500, so he's still almost double my army size. I'm just patrolling stuff on the low ground. I got some dropships, some Blue Flame Hellions, some Marines. He mops up, kills all that crap. Huge army coming in here, busting down the universe, knocking down. Killed both my bunkers with very few losses. Now he's running all around the universe. He tells me to leave. He's like, "This game is over. Why are you still here?" He's got Lings in my workers on hold position so that they don't get in range of my bunker. So they're just gonna get to free kills of SCVs going on the whole time. I have a double wall in at the high ground, so I'm not really in any risk of losing my main. But the thing is, I don't have any mineral patches left at my main. My main is completely dried out. So he's in there killing the workers at my only mining base. So I do manage to push him back, and the units lost before that fight and after that fight. That was my big chance. He got frustrated containing me because my dropship allowed me to get this second base that he never wanted me to have. So he's like, I gotta knock down this second base and starve him because he's got no main to retreat to. So this is the end of the game if he can knock down that base. And he fails to knock it down, and so the game doesn't end here. And he was really counting on that being the end of the game because, like I said, he's only got 40 workers. He is playing a low econ contain game, which is the style that Slid used to like back when there was such a thing as a Slid, but I won't get into that. So now I've got 53 workers, but only 8 patches to put them on, so massively oversaturated. My income is the same as his for now, even though I have significantly more workers and more mules, because I only have one base to put them at. So now I'm doing the if you're behind, take a risk, and the risk is to try to get the gold. So as you can see, I got the auto spread going on by attacking those destructible rocks.